We are at the movies with Matt and Ryan to give a huge review on Dunkirk, the highly anticipated Christopher Nolan film. And Matt is here as well as usual. Matt, you there?
Yeah, Dunkirk, the latest from Christopher Nolan, whose last movie, Interstellar, came out roughly 3 years ago, a little less. Came out November 2014. But this is Nolan going into, a bit of a departure from what he typically does. It's a war film. It follows the Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Empire, and France who are surrounded by German army, and the movie follows like their fierce effort to just kind of survive amidst this terrible situation.
Yeah. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. I'm not as high on this movie as I usually am with his films. I will say this: it was phenomenally. It was, a very well directed movie as usual. I think he's a better director than writer at this point. I'm gonna be honest, Matt. Uh, and he shows. I mean, I wouldn't even call this. I mean, yeah, I guess I'd call it. It is war still in a very unique way, and he really has the camera up and close and personal with everyone involved. So I really appreciate that, and he takes a huge risk with this movie too. I don't think people know what they're getting themselves into with this movie, if you don't know the history, especially. So, which I think most people actually don't, in this country at least. So, but yeah. I want to start off with that because I definitely want to credit him with his directing and his ability as usual.
Yeah, similar to Apes last weekend, this is a movie that has received universal audiences alike. I believe it's at 92%. I did enjoy it. I think I would even say I liked it more than Apes last week. But I definitely see the flaws in this movie. I don't think it's quite perfect, and I don't think it has quite the impact that it wants to. But to me, what Dunkirk reminded me of is it's like what Steven Spielberg did with Saving Private Ryan. It was a great director like Christopher Nolan putting his staple on a genre that has been, so tried and true, passed down from generation to generation. And that was very exciting to see. It's definitely a movie you want to see on the biggest screen possible with the best sound, because just the way he encompasses the visual and audio and all that, it's really spectacular, and it ratchets up the tension the entire time. I think my leg was shaking throughout the duration of this movie, which is an impressive feat off the bat, and I give Nolan credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, the music definitely reminded me a lot of his past films, especially The Dark Knight. With like the music and the building up of tension, he's definitely good at
But
doing.
that's because he continues to work with Hans Zimmer as
Yeah,
his key guy for scores. So
yeah. And I think like I don't know, Matt. I'm very confused on like what he was trying to get at with this movie. I'm gonna be honest.
what's the confusion?
Because
Let me
like
try to.
here's my thing, Matt. Like I understand that Dunkirk was more of a surviving, you know, like it was more of a battle of survival than anything else in history. But at the end of the day, Matt, this is supposed to be a movie, and there was no. It's. I think it's hard to follow. Like, there's not a lot of character development. You don't. I mean, you care about the characters because they are part of the army. They're in war, but like you don't. They're just not fleshed out well. And I think you can't just. But Matt, you can't just be attached to these characters solely on the fact because they're at war. Like I didn't. I didn't.
Disagree. All right. I I'm mixed on the characters in this movie, but I have to defend Nolan in the fact that I'm so happy that he doesn't spend 5-10 minutes giving these characters really shitty, underdeveloped backstories. Oh, I'm writing my letter to whoever. Like, I hate that stuff in war movies. I hate that cliche. I really love that it's a movie not about the people, it's about the situation. It's about the basic everyman trying to fight for survival. And by kind of having these characters as everyman types, we kind of are put into their shoes, living through the situation with them, and kind of feeling the ups and downs of their fight for survival. I don't think this movie needed deep characters, and I like that it's under 2 hours. It's about an hour 45,
Yeah.
and I like the restraint there. And my problems lie more in the movie's setup. It's three arcs because I that's always an interesting idea, but it's similar to when chefs cook dishes with three different items on it. You make it so that each can be compared to each other, and kind of one rises while the other two fall. And that's what happened for me. But you can go on about your complaints with the movie because I'm interested to hear.
What? Oh, my complaints in the movie. Well, there's
Yeah,
certain
well,
aspects of the film, Matt, where like there's okay, so there's three perspectives, like you said, and one of the perspectives is Mark Rylance's character, and these two other, I think his son was one of them. I'm not too completely sure on that, but I think it was. That was one
yeah,
perspective.
the blonde kid was his son, and then the black haired kid was his son's friend.
And like I understand, okay, so that's the one perspective. That was the perspective I had the most problem with because I understand they're this boat, they're trying to save the soldiers on the sand, but there's like other conflicts going on this boat that like I personally don't really care about because I don't know these characters at all. I don't want to spoil it because there is something that happens on the boat, but like that's a huge part of the film. That's one of the perspectives, and that wasn't developed very well. I mean, and then I didn't like the ending at all either. The ending was kind of rushed, and I feel like Nolan was trying to explain to the audience what he was trying to get at with his film, and I don't think he did it in a very effective manner. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but
I have the complete opposite problem with the ending. I thought it had like 8 different endings. It's like there were so many different shots where I'm like, oh my god, this would be the perfect ending, and then I'd keep going on and be like, oh yeah, right there, perfect ending.
Yeah.
This is a great shot, and I keep going. Well, basically what you said was the exact opposite. So not yeah.
Well, no,
But-
like we both had problems with the ending, though. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, too.
Yeah, but my problem is the complete opposite. I don't think it was rushed. The movie did build.
I'm not saying it was rushed. I'm saying it wasn't done effectively. I don't think like
You
I don't
can
know.
rewind the tape, but you also said it was rushed. So
Well, that's not what I meant.
Great. Yeah. What else did you talk about? Talk for a while.
Wow, I talked about the perspective with Mark
boat.
Rylance. I didn't like how that was
Yeah.
fleshed out.
I mean, yeah, the Mark Rylance part was the worst for me because I think they had the most characterization in the movie to me as well. I think because the characterization that's there just really isn't that interesting, and then Cillian Murphy just shows up and it's just like, okay, like I don't know, it's just I found the whole boat thing to be the most just lackluster.
Yeah.
I think the movie is not only at its best but fucking incredible is the Tom Hardy in
Really?
the air. Chris, the fact that I was fucking blown away every aerial scene, just how incredibly shot everything is,
I agree.
everything. You feel you're in that cockpit with Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy previously in his career made a film called Lock where it's literally 85 minutes of him driving a car. So he has experience of being in movies where he's just stuck in this tight contained area and you're kind of living through the situation with him. And I found there to be a really simple poignancy to his character and the way his arc develops and how his sacrifice, kind of symbolizes, what war is and greater good of men and stuff like that. I really enjoyed the aerial parts, not only for the filmmaking, but I also thought there was a level of poignancy that actually connected with me more so compared to the other arcs.
Yeah, the Tom Hardy part was fine. I mean, I really enjoyed the land.
Well,
No, obviously the
dude,
filmmaking was great, Matt. That was, that's one of the reasons why I still think this is a good movie. But I just there were some parts where I thought just could have been done more effectively. Like I said, the ending, the Mark Rylance perspective. I thought the land perspective was pretty good. But again, it's a little. I mean, I guess that's what I thought coming out of this movie was he just trying to show the tough situation that these guys were in, and I don't know. I just feel like it was hard to follow at some points.
I don't think it was hard to follow ever. My one criticism, I think the editing could be a little improved, mostly when it comes to transitions. I feel like some of it didn't really always flow from one story to another, kind of cut mid situation sometimes, and it just kind of felt a little awkward when that would happen. But I like the land story. I think it's definitely the middle of the sandwich of the two. The acting all across the board was very good. My one fucking problem, and I'm taking points off Nolan for this. He needs to start making movies where you can fucking understand what people are saying.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
I'd say a good 30% of this movie, I had no clue what the fuck anyone
Thank
was saying.
you.
And it's just like he intentionally does this. He's like, yeah, I don't care if some dialogue is like this, and it's like, okay, but you're fucking stupid. Like, you need to I need to understand what the characters are. I mean, it's not a huge issue because there really isn't a lot of dialogue in this movie. Another
there's none.
I kind of liked about it, but yeah, there's some. It's just like fucking gargles of marbles down their throat.
Well, that was a huge problem with me too, Matt. Because this is at the end of the day, this is a movie.
Right.
Like, you need to have some you gotta have more meat to the bones, Matt. More meat.
I disagree with that, but this movie isn't about the characters. That's the thing. Where we need character. You don't need. I love that Christopher Nolan didn't give these characters because it's about the everyman. It's not about let's give these very well-rounded characters. We're stuck in the shit.
Well, then don't have dialogue at all. Then because.
People can talk.
I know. I know.
That was so stupid. Don't have dialogue at all. What the?
I just felt like this was a little pretentious, Matt. I think that this was a little bit.
No, not at all.
I think the story.
It's a little. I think it's like Saving Private Ryan with Spielberg. It's a great director putting his staple on a genre, and I think it didn't quite have the. I can see why people love the movie because personally the filmmaking really is impeccable and impressive.
Yeah.
And engaged throughout. It didn't.
Did Matt freeze?
That effect. I'm not gonna blame that on the characters though. I support Nolan and I admire what he does with the characters, and that didn't feel like the issue to me. I just feel like I don't know the ending. It didn't quite have the punch it needed to, and it just didn't. It lacks. I don't know. Nolan does struggle at times with having an emotional impact on his movies, and this kind of missed the boat on that one for me. But yeah. I mean, this is still a very, very impressively made film, so I give Nolan credit for that.
It was well directed. I think he's a better director than writer. I really do.
I think he's a fucking amazing writer too, but okay. You need to calling the movie.
It just wasn't for me, Matt. It just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't emotionally invested in a lot of what was going on, and I think Nolan. I appreciate the fact that he never spells things out in movies with the audiences. But I felt like this was a movie where you had to have a.
Ryan's like, I needed it spelled out.
No, Matt, no.
You just said you didn't understand it.
I said it was hard to follow sometimes because, having the three perspectives is very risky. And
it's not that risky.
I think at times it's a detriment to the film, Matt. I think it was. It is kind of
So what do
risky.
you
How is it
suggest?
not risky,
That's
Matt?
so stupid.
How is it not risky?
That's so stupid. How are you suggesting that it's something different than that? What is it then? What is the movie if it's not each of the perspectives? What is the movie?
I know. Well,
It's not a movie.
I understand that,
It's a
Matt.
generic
It could have been
movie.
done if.
That's stupid. That was dumb.
I think it was very poorly advertised too. I don't think people understand what they're getting themselves into.
Give me a break. Every fucking movie is advertised differently than it is. Like, come on, that's just common knowledge in today's Hollywood. Like,
Not every
that's
movie,
just
though.
what it is.
All right.
And I think most people who see the movie have liked the movie, so I disagree with that.
I'm a little surprised.
I think it's made for intelligent audiences who can, follow a movie.
It's not, but Matt, I don't know.
What?
Yeah,
What?
But it's not like intelligence in the sense of like Inception. Like I think I understand the whole background of Dunkirk. Like I just think that he was trying to make it more of something. I don't know. It wasn't I think this would have been a better documentary, Matt, than a movie. I don't think this should have been on the big screen.
No, the whole thing that made this a great movie is the filmmaking.
All right, but we know no one's a great filmmaker though, Matt. We know that.
So what are you yelling about?
That's not a surprise.
How would this be a better documentary though? Because the whole thing that makes the story at its core isn't. It's just a fight for survival. But he shows that through his interesting. The thing that makes this movie interesting is his visual spectrum. The way he can just show you an action going on and put you in the boots of those soldiers and put you in the cockpit and put you on that boat. Like that's what made this movie memorable. Is that he really puts you in the situation and makes you go through that shit with these people. Like it's an experience.
I know, but I just think movies have certain things, Matt. Certain aspects, and I don't know. I don't think
I disagree with that. Why does everything have to follow convention?
Okay, but it can be unique, man. But it has to be good too.
It was very good.
Oh,
everyone is saying it's very good.
I don't care what everyone is saying.
Okay, man. It's one thing if you don't
movie
like
critics
a movie,
is saying that.
But a movie like this, you can't say is bad.
I'm not saying I never said it was bad.
Okay, but some of the things you're criticizing are things you did not like, but they are not problems with the movie.
What? I think the Mark Rylance part.
There's a difference.
I think the Mark Rylance part is a pretty big problem.
But it was Nolan made the movie he intended to make. If you have a problem with that, that's your personal problem. As well as me, if I have a personal problem.
Well, I know, Matt. I said this walking out of the theater. I'm like, Nolan doesn't give a shit anymore. Like, he's doing what he wants. It's the same thing with Scorsese when he made Silence.
I know, but you saying that movies need to have this and that, I just think that's dumb. Like, it's awesome that a director like Christopher Nolan, who's working with in the studio system, is able to make a movie like this. Like, that should be, first off, applauded from the start. After sitting through fucking Dumb Apes and Spider-Man and all that shit, I'm so happy that there's a movie like this. Like, it's like, oh my god, this is not everything's fucking handed to me. Ooh,
I know, Matt, but you don't have to be handed to, Matt. But you don't want people being confused either. Like,
I don't think it's confusing at all. And I saw the movie at 10 in the morning, and I was like a little sleepy, to be honest. I disagree with it being confusing. I was never confused for a minute.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not downgrading the filmmaking, Matt. I'm downgrading the plot.
What about the plot is bad?
Though? I told you the marketing. I explained it.
The marketing.
I didn't say the marketing. I said no. I said Mark Rylance's that perspective. I said the ending didn't have any emotional effect, and I think there was just some I feel, man, if you're gonna have big names like Tom Hardy's a big name, he was very underutilized. I don't know.
What the fuck is he supposed to? That's the point. What is he supposed to do? He's supposed to talk a lot in the cockpit. Like that's the point. He's there to do his job. You know, that's stupid saying he's underutilized. He's utilized in the role of what a fighter pilot would be doing. It's realistic. It's not fucking Hollywood. And this movie has a big cast, but you would not know that because this movie is not marketing its cast. And that's part of the point. It's trying to symbolize the everyman. The fact that there's, some known people in it, like Harry Styles, Kenneth Branagh, Tom Hardy, etc., is just, that's how it is. That's just some of Nolan's crew. Cillian Murphy as well. It's not about the stars. It's about the whole movie is the embodiment of the everyman. That's the movie. And the ending is kind of about that. For me, it didn't hit me. Like, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Throughout the movie, I enjoyed it. And, well, not like, this is fun, but like, I was engaged, and it kept me interested in seeing where it's going.
Yeah,
but
I was interested.
It didn't have the impact that it has had with a lot of other people.
Same.
And I think that's for me because of the three arcs. I got so invested in the Tom Hardy's. I just thought the bow part sucked. Like, if I were to break it down, I'd go like, what's it? Let me do the math. I'd give the airplane stuff a 9. I'd give the land stuff a 7. I'd give the boat stuff a 5. Adds up to 21. My score for this movie is a 7. There we go. That's how I break it down. You got to do the math on that.
I'm not going to do that, but...
Well, that's fair to the movie. I love the boat stuff. I love the plane. Everything with the plane was fucking awesome. The filmmaking was exceptional, and I don't know. It kind of there's a shot towards the end of the movie that really it's gonna stay with me. So I like that. The land stuff was good, and then the boat stuff. I don't know what the fuck happened there with Mark Rylance.
I agree.
It just became weird. Like, I don't know.
There was some weird shit that happened on the boat that I kind of didn't care about, sadly.
Yeah, but I give it a 7, a very strong 7 though.
I'll give it a strong.
There's no such thing as a strong 6, but okay.
6 out of 10.
That's such a weak score. Oh my god.
It's not even that weak.
Yeah, it is.
You can't just ride on filmmaking, Matt. There's other parts to a movie than just filmmaking.
Yeah, and all those other parts were good, Ryan.
And there were some flaws with those other parts, in my opinion.
No, yeah, you didn't like them. They weren't bad. Let's get that right.
Oh my god.
Let's get that right, Ryan.
Matt, all right. Here's my thing. 1 out of 3. The boat part sucked. That means 2 out of 3 were decent. That's a 66%. That's around a 6 out of 10.
I think people have enjoyed the boat part the most, actually. I think it's just my personal preference along with yours. But I have this problem when there's movies like this that are so widely acclaimed. It's like, you're allowed to not like the movie. That's fine. You don't tear it a new asshole. This part sucks.
Oh my god.
This is wrong. Because this is you need to realize you're in the minority and you just disagree with people. And it's more about explaining why you disagree instead of saying this about the movie is bad. That's how I feel about when I'm in the minority on something.
Yeah, but
it's less about...
It's a personal opinion, Matt. Like, I just didn't... Those didn't resonate with me as much as other people will. Like, Matt, I think here's my thing, too. I think a lot of people...
understand the point.
What? No, I know what you're saying, Matt. I know what you're saying. But that's like any movie. Like, movies are subjective, Matt. Someone could say this is bad, but another person say, no, I like that. That's just... Whatever. Like, okay, Christopher Nolan's a great filmmaker. I think I'm not like this...
Objectively.
I'm not sitting here saying that, his directing sucked. I'm not sitting here saying that. Matt, like, that's,
This is an objectively good movie. People say,
I'm not giving it a
exist.
3. Like,
if you're looking at filmmaking and, a movie through the lens of a, like, film student per se and breaking it down by this, it's an objectively good movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
So, and I feel like it being in the minority, as we both are, really, it's more about explaining why you disagree with people and that disconnect and saying, oh, I didn't, I recognize people love this. Here's why I disconnected with that.
Yeah. Rather
than saying this needs to change. This is bad. Because that doesn't. I don't know. I just think that's wrong. Like, Because you're in the you're saying
I
something
am
like
in the minority.
I know, but you sound stupid. It's
What?
just,
What?
it's
How,
like
Matt? How do I sound stupid? Because I didn't like resonate with these people. Like
I know, but you're
that's my
saying
opinion.
you saying that like they need to change the script.
I
like,
never
that's
said
like
they needed. When did I say they needed to change anything? I
you
said
said
this
they
would have
need to
been a
have
good
characters.
documentary, Matt, because it would have been a good learning experience. I think some people don't understand this historical event, Matt. And I think that's important for a movie to have a
Oh
background for
my.
people so they can understand what's going on.
Yeah, but here's
So
my
you can
thing. What's so hard?
Matt, here's my thing. There's a
What's
lot of
stop?
people
Yeah.
Matt, there's a lot of people in Great Britain and probably France that this movie will resonate with them because that's huge in their history, Matt. But here, like, but
This is dumb.
listen to me, Matt. I wish it's
It's the
just.
most simple thing ever. What is there to
I
understand?
know, Matt. I know it's a simple
You
thing,
can
but for
you
me
can understand the
personally,
history of it in a sentence. Why do you need to go?
but I
They do go
personally
into
wish
like,
I was able to resonate with these people more. Is what I'm saying. There's other war movies there I was able to, like.
oh, like Hacksaw Ridge.
Stop. Stop.
You liking Hacksaw Ridge more than this? Like, for fucking shame.
Matt,
Hacksaw Ridge
stop.
is the most cliched movie ever, and then Mel Gibson's like, "I'm gonna blow up people for the next hour." Hacksaw Ridge was shit compared to this. Come on, like, not even the same fucking league. Wow, Mel Gibson can really make people blow up people well.
That's not what I'm saying, Matt.
No, what you're saying is we need this would have been a boring documentary because the story is so simple. Like, okay, they were stuck and they got unstuck. What makes it interesting is the personal accounts that no one gives us. What this movie isn't a movie without the filmmaking. So that's why I think the documentary statement is dumb because
No.
documentaries aren't for flashy filmmaking. Movies are for flashy filmmaking.
I know that,
but why you keep saying it's you say you know that, but then you just went on a giant rant on how this should be a documentary. Like it's this is the stuff I'm saying. Like I don't know.
No, Matt. I'm just saying that personally for me
You said like 12 different things.
No, I haven't. I've stuck with what I've said. I said personally for me, going to a movie, I wish I could resonate with the characters more, and I didn't resonate with any of them that well.
So it's a 6 just because of that?
No, I said the ending wasn't well done.
How was it? Okay, you said things. This is back to my point of saying it was well done. You just didn't like it.
For me, yeah, I don't think it was well orchestrated.
Okay, what about it was bad?
I said this already. Oh my god, how many?
But you said it was rushed.
I'm repeating. I never.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm done.
We can literally.
I did not say it was rushed. You misunderstood me, Matt.
No, I'm gonna rewind the tape and I'm gonna replay it for you, and you're gonna sound stupid. But you did say it was rushed out.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant.
Well, the audience.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Okay, it's not what you meant, but you did say it.
No, that's not what I meant.
Do you want to bet on it?
I don't care about the betting. I said that's not what I meant, Matt. That's the most important thing.
Well, everything I've said, I've meant. So let's just.
I didn't mean it was rushed.
It that way.
Well, I mean the ending wasn't the. Oh, I'm sick of repeating myself, man. I'm not repeating it again.
But yeah, because I still can't understand your problem with the ending. It's just you're talking in circles.
No, I'm not.
But what's your problem with the ending?
I said I wish Nolan orchestrated it better because I think he was trying to explain to people what his point with this film was in the ending with the newspaper, with the two soldiers on the train reading the newspaper. I don't think it was done effectively. And I think
so. How would it have been orchestrated better?
How would it have been orchestrated better than what it was doing?
Yeah.
Don't spell it out.
Just said it.
Don't try to spell it out, Matt. Because you have this whole movie where he's not spelling anything out. You know, you kind of have the audience to just follow these characters on their own and understand what's going on. So why try to spell things out at the end?
Well, the end. I give Nolan credit because that's the time where it's you want to you revere in that accomplishment. You want to have a moment where it's like, you know what, we did it. And it's not like it was like, oh, we won the war. It was more of a statement on just kind of the sentiment the whole movie was about the everyman and just kind of how they pushed on. They made it to another day. I liked the line a lot at the end when they're like, when the man was wishing them good job, and they're like, "Why did you say good job? All I did was survive." And he's like, "Oh, that's all you need to do. Like that's all that matters." Like I like the ending. That sort of reverence. I feel like it would have been weird. What the movie ends with them just getting their back, and it's like, oh, ending. That would have been stupid. Like you need to have some sort of revelatory moment about the accomplishment they made. Like we just sat through the shit with them for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ryan, so you're like you would rather the movie end
But
with them?
I don't know, man.
Oh, all right. This is spoilers. We'll put a little spoiler warning later, but
Yeah, that was a
the
spoiler.
movie, they come back home, ending, walk up the
Well,
ship.
I don't know, the way the movie was going, might as well have that ending. I mean, like,
that was stupid. But no, it's Nolan. We say, you say this, but Nolan is one to embrace the big moment. I mean, the moment when all the ships arrive, like that's played up, the score and all that. Like Nolan isn't afraid to do that. It's not like he's Terrence Malick or something. Like
yeah. No, I thought the music was good. I thought it built up tension well.
Okay. So how would the ending actually be better?
I told you how the ending would have been better, man.
Yeah, but I just told you.
And like you said, there were a lot of shots, and like I don't know, like just end on something. Like I just wish it wasn't like it didn't work for me because like I said, I wasn't like emotionally with these characters, and now they're spelling it out for me. I don't know. It's just
what are they spelling out though? I don't know.
The point of the movie. What is were they not, Matt? No one is known for not spelling
but
shit
you need
out.
a moment like that to revel in the accomplishment. And the emotion doesn't come from knowing the characters; it comes from being in their situation, being in there with them, and experiencing that with them. Not a movie about character development. Because this is the thing that it just annoys me.
I think I just wish it was, Matt. I think I just wish it was a little bit more. That's my personal opinion. That is my personal opinion.
Okay, as long as that's how you preference it, that's fine with me.
Okay.
But if you preference it, earlier we were like, this was bad.
No, that's not. That's
you said like this was wrong with the movie. That's dumb because that's your personal opinion. But as long as you preference it with, just like because that's what I did with Apes. I was like, all right, I get it. This was really well acclaimed, but for me, I think everything was way too spelled out. Like it felt dumbed down. Like you just have to preference it with things. Everything needs a preference.
But yeah.
All right. Well, that's the review. This one went way too long.
Yeah, 33 minutes. All right.
It's a nice long one. Dunkirk deserves a long review. It is a big movie.
Yeah. We'll have a big sick review too coming up, and we'll have a few more. But listen.
Big dick.
Wow. All right. But
Valerian review coming up soon. You know to get hyped for that one.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, so check out this review and our past ones. I'll put this one up probably tomorrow. And yeah, like, share, subscribe at The Movies with Matt and Ryan. And we'll see you guys later.